if you're gonna say anything weirdly racist, don't do it right now.
Okay. No, I just had I had a routine, and then I lost 50 pounds, and then I just kind of plateaued, and was like, okay, well, I feel a little better.
Well, you know, like sometimes you gotta like let the metabolism resettle.
Yeah.
And then like don't throw yourself off track to the point where you're gaining again. Don't do that. Like enjoy that, and then and when you go back to it again, like you will see the numbers kind of go back to doing what they previously had done. So
it's just like my normal routine now is just not as strict as it was. Yeah. So it's like okay, we're fine. We're doing fine. We're not gaining.
If you're in a good situation where you have a routine that's maintainable, I feel like that matters a lot more.
There you go.
Being super strict.
Yeah. All that matters is staying consistent with your diet is the core part of any sort of like weight loss or maintaining. It's just if you stay consistent with that, your body's going to follow and it'll be fine.
Yeah. The thing I realized is when because the eggs were giving me stomach aches, when I dropped them, I got more hungry. Because it was like,
eggs are protein, and protein makes you not hungry.
No, it was the stomach cramping made me not want to eat.
Oh no.
So that was, I got over that pretty quickly though. It was funny though. It was like me being a dumbass and trying to be like, but if I'm just cramping up a little bit and it makes me like want to skip a meal, that does help the diet. You dumbass. That's not a good plan.
It's not the healthiest of plans.
Yeah. I lost I made some changes. We talked about like 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I lost like 10 pounds, lost nothing else. And I just kind of decided like, all right, I'm actually fine with this.
Yeah. Right.
I feel like I'm in a place I'm happy with.
Yeah. Long as you're happy.
Yeah.
It's all that matters. I ain't here to please nobody. I ain't no prize pig, and I never ever fucking claim to be.
Life is good.
Life is fantastic.
Pulled up that chat window.
Chat window of all of the no people talking, man.
Yep.
Yeah, baby. Saribot joined though. Saribot's got our back.
Hey, if nobody else got our back,
Saribot going to be here every time listening to our dumb nonsense. There's Psychic Heist.
Hi, Psychic Heist.
There you go. Yeah, this artwork's really powerful for this episode. It's real good.
Mm-hmm.
The Vampire Survivors cover. The cover for the next month's episode is going to be pretty good too. It's another good video game spoof.
Good.
Yeah.
I have a fat thing of blueberries right in front of me right now.
Oh, nice.
They're treating me real good.
Speaking of dieting.
I'm pretty much getting it's not dieting because it's just I'm getting the stuff that I want to eat every single week. And that stuff is grapes and blueberries and apples and bananas.
Those are all really good at keeping your poops regular. Just saying.
Well, not that good, apparently, but...
Oh, no. John, talk about it. Like, what? Are you constipated, John?
No. Definitely not that.
Okay.
Let's stop that now. I had like poop stuff as like part of my brand for years, and I made a conscious effort to stop that. So let's not go down that rabbit hole again.
It was a good arc though. It was a good arc.
It was a good arc.
We got a lot of good material out of that.
Mm-hmm.
We did so many. You can just go back, like episode 4, episode 7. Go back there. It's prime butt problems material.
I de-emphasized the butt problem stuff, de-emphasized vor, just like completely reinvented.
Yeah, just completely reinvent everything.
Mm-hmm.
And people always latch on. It's like when you're a kid, right? And you say to your parents, oh yeah, I like Powerpuff Girls. I think they're funny and cute. That's cool. And then for the next 7 years, that's all anybody ever gets you because they never bother to like update your thoughts. I mean, I'm literally 22 years old and receiving more Powerpuff Girls merchandise. And it's just like, at some point you have to be, look, guys, this show was 1997. We are 5 years out of me saying that one time I like Powerpuff Girls. And don't get me wrong, I still don't think it's bad, but we can probably pull back on this stuff because people have been giving me this merchandise for 5 years. I had to throw out a whole bin of Powerpuff Girls shit like in 2003 or 2004 just because it's like, why? Come on, people, please update a little bit.
Please.
There's another friend who's a sweetheart. Doesn't really care about any of the games that I play. But we always get stuff for Christmas for each other, and anything he gets me, he just gets me because there's anime on it.
That's very good.
And that worked out really well exactly once. Because this person got me 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors on DS.
Oh, wow.
So like the one time that it worked, but every other time it's just been like, dude, okay, I guess this is some Naruto thing now.
Do you Naruto? Oh boy. Yeah.
There was some bad.
Jam.
I'm trying to think of this. There was a really boring DS RPG that just had anime characters on. I can't remember what it was now. It's just the most generic shit I'd ever played.
Lunar Dragon Song.
Nah, that was just offensive. I can remember that game because it was offensively terrible.
DS RPG.
There you go. Get me Alan Sir Jr. Turbo Racing themed gifts every year.
What the hell is Cross of Venus? I've never seen or heard of this before in my entire life.
Yeah.
I just Googled anime JRPG.
And I'm not trying to sound in any way ungrateful because my friend it's just the joke now. Like this became the joke literally 3 years into our relationship, and it's just like when he literally said, I just got it for you because it has anime people on it. Like, okay, that's our dynamic. The one time that he did purposefully get me something, it was something that he knew that I would hate, and he got me all 8 volumes of Tenchi in Tokyo on DVD. So the one time that he got it right, that was just like, I very purposefully bought you this anime thing. And this, okay, you're an asshat. Thanks, pal.
That's very funny.
I got him old lady lesbian porn. But I packaged it in good kind of lesbian porn. So I grabbed 2 packages and grabbed it, and then just kind of And thankfully, the DVD was one of those cheapies where it didn't have cover, it didn't have cover.
My God.
Yeah, the top of the disc is just clear, so it's just one of those cheap ass jobbies where there's they put this out for nothing. So yeah.
So, did they ever watch it and say something?
I hear about it 3 months later. What the fuck did you do to me? What the fuck did you give me? It was it was weird enough that you gave me porn. It's that when I went to actually go watch it, motherfucker.
And did you keep the real one?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a Viv Thomas joint. I can't remember which one it was, though. Viv Thomas was a pretty good director of lesbian porn back in the mid to late 2000s. Got a few of his flicks. They're pretty good.
These are good. These are some choice wiki dives, mid podcast wiki dives, I think.
Yeah, right. Where else? What other podcasts are you going to listen to where you just you'd have to you're going to have to do a pause and look up Viv Thomas, who is a dude, by the way.
Website.
Oh yeah.
That one RPG, John, Cross of Venus. Did you notice the box art being a bunch of characters from other properties?
No, I didn't.
I mean, you got Index, Kino. I think that's Taiga from Toradora. You got
is it one of those crossover strategy RPGs?
Yeah. I think there's a reason why it has the Japanese rating logo, because it did not get localized.
Yeah. Those rarely ever got released here. There were a few. I know there was a Capcom one that had a bunch of Namco characters in it that got brought over. Yeah, it was weird. Fucking crazy, man. The things they can put out on video game consoles, you don't think they should be allowed to do it sometimes, but they get away with it all the time.
Viv Thomas presents a DS RPG.
Yeah! There you go. There you go. Let's do that.
Specializes in lesbian pornography as well as foot fetish videos.
Yeah, you ran into that every once in a while. Didn't realize that until about halfway through a flick one time. And it was, okay, you do this too. And you're very detailed with it too. Gotcha. Okay. I see where you're going. I see what we're doing here. Hi, welcome to Sockscast, episode 161. I'm your good pal Polly, and we have fun here on this little show that we bring to you, I guess once a month now.
Yeah.
But hey, that means the next time we're together, which will probably be like the 13th or so of next month, the next time we're together, we're going to be talking about, hey, we're going to need Game of the Year lists. So
It's true. We're getting up there.
We're getting there. I will be putting a notice on the website on November 1st. That is when I will be starting to make the call for Game of the Year lists. And this is the last episode where I will not be mentioning Game of the Year. But I guess that's not true at all, since
we're mentioning it right now.
Yeah, but we're not taking entries right now.
Well,
I mean, if you want to send it, by all means. But I think like mid-October, maybe a little early.
Yeah, true.
What if you play another game?
Exactly. What if you play another game?
Bro.
God, I played too many good games, and I played too many good games around Christmas.
That always happens.
That's my vacations. I'm just like
like when
blasting through them.
Yeah, that's I get a lot of game playing done, I find, at the end of the year and going into New Year, and then just a dramatic dip come mid-January. That's how it happened for me this year. Like, I had a real good start to the year. I look back at my games played list, and it's like Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, Udongin X, Transaruby. I got into Faerun.
There you go.
And then, like, February happens. Well,
that was my February. My January, I had some bangers, and then February, I played almost nothing. I think I went on kind of I replayed Doom on Ultraviolence, and then I just watched movies.
Yeah. Remember when we watched movies? Those were the days.
Oh God, I was finishing Final Fantasy IX.
Oh God, everybody just collectively shudders at the thought. Oof.
It's funny for me because I'm thinking, January, Cold Steel 1. February, Cold Steel 2.
Oh, that's it. I mean, somebody's living better than all of us.
Hey, Rhett, my January was January 10th to January 15th, Umineko When They Cry Chapter 1. January 20th to January 24th, Umineko Chapter 2.
Oh, whatever happened to that?
Who knows?
Time Hollow! That's the DS game.
What's Time Hollow?
Time Hollow.
I get you.
Okay, I just looked at it and I was like, yep, I know. Yeah, that was the game that somebody sent me that I just found utterly fucking boring.
Even the cover is like, it's
just
anime, but it's certain style is just very bland.
Yeah. They're kind of going for that, like, if you look at it, like, if you go look at, like, the first Trails in the Sky games and that era of East games, they're kind of, it's got that kind of shading to it.
Oh my fucking God, I know why I know this.
Why do you know this?
So I was looking through the credits of Suikoden trying to find oeuvre.
Oh no.
So there's Yoshitaka Murayama. I knew I recognized Time Hollow. Yoshitaka Murayama did 1, 2, the VNs, and then helped on 3. And then he did a PS2 game, producer, writer, director, called 10,000 Bullets, which I've never heard a single person talk about. And then he wrote the scenario for The Alliance Alive, and then he did the Kickstarter. And then fucking nothing else.
Nah. 10,000 Bullets sounds like a video game that I would have been like, hey, I want to play that. And it probably it probably hit the ground with a resounding thud.
It looks a little bit like Max Payne, I think. But like, I don't know. It looked a little like Max Payne.
I like Max Payne. I think those games were pretty good.
I mean, maybe it's, who knows? How does it fit into the greater Murayama oeuvre?
There you go. Hey, maybe
no way to know.
Maybe 10,000 Bullets is the connective fiber we need to make this all make sense.
So, the reason I knew Time Hollow, Junko Kawano is a Japanese game designer, game director, and writer, and she helped Yoshitaka Murayama create the Suikoden series of video games, according to Wikipedia. She was initially a character designer and illustrator. She helmed the series for Konami after...
okay.
She wrote and produced Suikoden 4 and Suikoden Tactics. So she's one of the other like major creative figures in the Suikoden canon.
Yeah.
And she her only work is a bunch of the Suikodens, a PS2 game called Shadow of Memories, a mystery adventure game, and then its spiritual successor for the DS, Time Hollow. So she was the major designer and writer for Time Hollow.
Gotcha.
So, once again, Suikoden, the gift. Suikoden is the gift that keeps on giving.
Never
Nothing but
get-
gold talent.
Nothing
come
but
in front
just
of that cannon.
straight A bangers here. To my immediate virtual right, he's never said the word cattywampus in his life. It's Rhett.
And I'm not going to.
You're not gonna. What aren't you gonna say?
The thing that you just said.
What was the
think it
thing that
started
I
with
just
a
said? I forgot what it was. What was it? That was.
I don't really remember, actually.
Cattywampus.
Oh,
So just
okay.
say
I'm
the
not
word
going to say
catty,
that.
And then, all right. So wait. Hey, Red, what's the word when somebody's being like kind of obnoxious and sniping at people and just being kind of
This is
mean?
not going to go well. You were talking to somebody who just is real bad at synonyms.
No, that's fair. I don't know
I'm
how I
not
would
saying
do that.
Rhett's dumb. I'm just saying he doesn't word very good.
I don't word very good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. That's fine. I forget.
If Red had only played Temple of the Wumpus on itch.io, then
Yeah.
I'd be able to pull on that.
Yeah. Were you cats in that?
I don't think so.
No cattywampuses at all?
I would be very surprised if there weren't any cats in any John D. Moore games. I'm sure there must be.
Lots of wampus, though.
Lots of Wumpus.
Surprising amount of wampus.
I played the game for a full hour and I never found the Wumpus.
Damn. I hate it when I play a game and I do not find the wampus within like 30 minutes. If I'm playing a game and there's no wampus within like 30, 35 minutes, I'm almost tempted to just be like, all right, I'm just going to take this to GameStop, trade in. Even if it's a Steam game, I'll figure out how to do it. I'm just going to take it to GameStop and trade it in. I'm that disgusted.
Polly, we all
GameStop
know
now, so.
you're never going to GameStop again.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm never going to my local GameStop again after.
You were so fucking wronged by that GameStop. Fuck.
Man, and it's sad because like the dude that took care of me at that place did real good, and he ended up quitting because they wouldn't give the guy that he worked with a promotion because that guy had been busting his ass for like 3 months straight and covering that store in a way that, like, you know, when he's had to be at other stores. So it's literally just him and this other guy running this store a lot of the times on single coverage. And like, he's like, look, like if corporate is not going to work with me and give you what you deserve, I can't stay here. So he ended up quitting. And then GameStop stopped getting pre-orders in like a month later. Like, it's not just this GameStop in particular. It's endemic of all GameStops right now is they fucked up something with their inventory system. So now they just don't get pre-orders in. Like even for big shit like NBA 2K23, that's a big one that a bunch of them just did not get. And to my knowledge, still have not gotten. And so like I didn't get my copy. Trails from Zero comes out. I'm excited. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give this thing a good fair shake now that it's got a good translation. And I go in there the day that it's supposed to come out, and he's like, yeah, I'm not getting that, and I'm not gonna stock it. And I'm just like, excuse me, you're not gonna. I gave you the $53 for the thing. You have to give me my thing. No, I'm not going to order that. We're not going to stock that. Like, well, okay, give me my money back. And he starts to ring it up on a fucking gift card. Now, huh? And that's when it hit me. That's when I literally just got mad. That was just like, you.
Yep.
And I was just like, cancel the 5 to 7 pre-orders that I have on file right now and give me all the money back.
Oh,
he had to go open the safe to give me my money back.
So the thing about that story is that the way he goes, we're not going to order
We're not going to, like, he just refused to order it.
Yeah, that's really weird because at least on the GameStop employee Reddit, people were like, oh, yeah, we're ordering the games. They're just not shipping to us. So what the fuck? And people are bitching. Yeah, but this guy seemed to go above and beyond to be like, no.
It just felt straight up like, no, I'm not going to order this for you. Yeah, I was like, dude, I gave you.
You took the money. That's
you've had my money for 8-9 months.
Oh.
At least we got out of this. Before, like after the Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative came out.
Oh man!
Because if this would have ended up in that, oh man, like, oh gosh, where'd those firebombs come from? What is happening?
Yes, another special edition that you had absolutely no trouble with getting.
Oh god, yeah. It's been a rough one. Brett, I introduced you and I didn't even have the courtesy to ask you how you're doing.
Cattywampus. Oh, fuck.
Fuck, you did it! You've broken a literal, however old that is, year streak. I can't believe you did this. Wow.
I don't know. I don't know what came over me.
Like, we could have saved that for, like, end of the year reveal. Like, that could have been sweeps for us right there. And you just gave it away on episode
gave it away for free.
On fucking episode 161. Who's listening to episode 161 of the Sockscast when we know that people only
8 more of these?
We gotta do 8 more of these. There you go. We stick it 169. Boom.
Nice.
You put your flag in that. And there you go.
See, I think the podcast would be funnier if we just kept delaying the introductions for like the entire thing.
Just get to the end of the episode, and the introduction is me asking you, okay, so hey, where can the internet folks at home find you?
We can just keep it going.
We can, John Thayer.
Hi, that's me.
Who sees the sign as Sasalele.
Ha!
Fucking, I was just watching an anime, and I saw a sign that say sale. And I immediately thought of that fucking meme. I'm like, oh my God, the brain poison is real.
I absolutely love that meme. It's so stupid.
It's so stupid.
Oh, it's the best, though. It's the best. The best memes are like the things that are just absolutely absurd and stupid are often my favorite memes, and the ones that I think, yeah, you can stick around. But if it's like dumb shit, like, oh, it's Morbin time, get out. Leave. You aren't funny. Stop it.
Morbin was profoundly stupid.
It wasn't stupid in the... Morbin time felt manufactured by a guy.
Morbin time was a good joke originally, Paul.
Yeah.
We had this conversation. The joke was, haha, nobody would ever possibly care about Morbius. And now so the joke was that it was going to make $1 billion. The joke was like Morbius doing the Jeb pose over box office and making a bunch of money. Yeah. And then people started making jokes of like, oh, I love that great line in Morbius where he goes, it's Morbin time.
Because nobody saw the movie.
And the joke is that nobody saw it.
And I think the final punchline of them re-releasing the fucking movie and it bombing a second time, actually very funny.
I think that is great because that is a company that is just literally like, all right, guys, we got our in. And literally just they got their shit pushed in.
As soon as the company was like, hello, fellow internet users.
It's just done. Done.
I saw fucking Jared Leto make a joke video about it.
And
it didn't work.
That will not work.
Yeah, obviously.
Which is so
stop.
True. It's so nice seeing the ways that corporations don't have control over anything.
God, I
don't have control.
The one few things they can't control, the memes.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't corporations cannot meme. Absolutely not. And when they try and they start like interacting with one another, I literally want to pull out a gun.
God.
And everybody hates it. Nobody thinks that it's funny.
Not at all.
That's what's beautiful.
It makes me sad because Moon Pie engages in a lot of interbrand things. Like, oh, come on. I thought Moon Pie was cool.
Oh, but we're trying to be cool, Paulie.
We're trying for you, Paulie.
Oh, no. They think that's what I want? They think that like...
No, not you.
No, Moon Pie thinks that I want them to interact with other brands and look like gigantic tool bags. Look, Moon Pie's got a strength. You know what their strength is? Fucking being Moon Pies. That's their strength. That's all they need. That is all that brand needs to be successful. You can do so much with give me your brand for a year.
Give me your Sonic the Hedgehog it.
Give me your Twitter for a year, Moon Pie. Let me be your brand manager online on Twitter for a year. And I won't need to interact with fucking dumbass McDonald's to do it. Fuck Ronald McDonald and his stupid clown ass. I don't need it.
That's your first tweet, actually.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. You want a dose of my genius? You want a dose of my genius? Fuck McDonald's and his stupid clown ass. There you go. I got this. I don't need any more qualifications, I don't think.
I bet you could kill it.
I think I would.
The Moon Pie marketing experience.
Yeah, the Moon Pie. That would be a great saga
Bill,
for
you
us.
have done more for marketing Moon Pies than
I think I have. I bet I have. I know at least 7 fucking people that have bought Moon Pies, all thanks to me, all right?
I'm one of them.
There you go. See?
I'd never heard of them, and then I was like, oh, Polly likes these.
Now I want you to imagine this. Take the power of a VTuber with the entire strength of 271 followers on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. I thought you were going to say 271 people. Like you could lift. You have the strength. You have the strength of that many people.
I mean, we can try. We can make that a stunt. Like where, you know.
Somebody else tries to pick up the tire iron and it weighs like 200 tons.
There you go.
It's just like.
But for me.
It has its own gravitational field.
But for me, it just comes naturally because I built all this muscle with moon pies. There you go. See, look at this.
The tire iron can only be lifted by one pure of heart.
Exactly. It turns out all you need to be pure of heart is you just need to like moon pies a lot. Weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
Turns out
what you need.
Turns out Christianity got it wrong.
That's how you get into heaven after you die.
Yeah,
You just have
exactly.
to, like moon pies. It's really unfortunate for people with celiac.
That's a good segue, though.
no.
That's a damn good
Yeah.
segue, though, John. You
Really?
hit
Yeah.
me with a real good segue because I watched something over the last couple of
shit.
weeks. Yeah. I watched. There's this anime that I watched called Yoi Basho. And it's about this girl named Eleanor who actually it's not an anime, it's actually a sitcom called The Good Place. See what I did there?
You got us.
I did a funny thing. Rhett was going to my anime list right as
I
I
was like, what the heck? I haven't heard of Yoi Basho.
yeah, it's just literal translation of The Good Place.
Oh my God.
That's very funny. That's very good, Polly.
I'm very smart and funny. And they say that I can't host podcasts. Telling you, Moon Pie, look at the genius that you would have behind your brand. Right here. But yeah, this is I don't is this the first sitcom we've ever talked about?
I think I talked about Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Okay, yeah. But I was going through Netflix just kind of like after me and Ghosty had done our Breaking Bad watch for the day, and I was like, what do I want to watch?
Oh, yeah.
What do I want to watch? And then I see Ted Danson's big, glorious, dumb face staring at me with a big, goofy smile, and I said, I've seen that used in memes before, and I like Ted Danson. I'm gonna watch this show called The Good Place, even though I know absolutely fucking nothing about it. So it's about this girl.
That's such a good way to get into the show.
It is because I knew nothing about it. Like I just don't keep up with TV that isn't Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like what else is there? Turns out there's other stuff you can watch, like 30-minute sitcoms that are funny and they don't rip your heart out, or maybe they do. But
I'll never tell.
But The Good Place is about a girl named Eleanor. She dies. Well, shit. Well, I said it was.
You said it wasn't going to rip my heart out,
Shit!
Polly.
Goddamn.
I've known Eleanor for 12 seconds, and now she's dead.
Done. Yeah. Sad.
Okay.
But she
I was gonna say
dies.
it's okay though. 'Cause it kind of sucked.
She dies, and she gets sent to heaven or the good place. And when she gets there, she finds out that people are sent to the good place or the bad place based on a numerical score of their deeds on Earth. So she apparently ended up in the good place because she was a lawyer that helped get innocent inmates on death row exonerated. Good for her.
Okay, well there
She
you go.
got an absolutely good reason to get into the paradise of the afterlife. And she also meets her soulmate, Chidi, who is this very nice gentleman. He in his life on Earth was an ethics and moral philosophy professor. But things could possibly not be going any better. Like what more do you need for a show like this, right? Just happy afterlife land. Except there's a bit of a mix-up. It turns out that Eleanor was actually kind of a crappy person during her life on Earth. I do believe one of the first flashbacks they show of her is like there's this environmentalist outside of a store that she's at, and he's like, excuse me, ma'am, do you have time for a small discussion about the environment? And her reply to him is what immediately won me over. She said, oh, excuse me, do you have time to eat my fart? And I was just, okay, I love this show already. Great.
Wait, oh no, is that enough to get you into the bad place?
Oh, no. Throughout the course of the show, we find out she's done a lot of pretty bad things to people that run the gamut of pretty fucking funny to, okay, that's kind of mean. It's never like mean-spirited or awful about it, and there's usually always kind of a comedic moment to it. But it's like, oh, like, oops, you did a lot of bad stuff. So she's like actually ended up in the good place by some type of like clerical mistake of her having the same name as someone else who did do all of the good stuff. So like the dilemma is like, you know, like she like when Michael, the architect, who is played by Ted Danson, tells her, it's like, hey, you know, like, you're here because you did all of this good stuff. She's obviously sitting there like, yes, I did do all of that good stuff. and everything seems to be going fine for a while, but after her first couple of days there, some disasters start to happen all over the good place. Like, she gets drunk at the welcome party and binges on all of the cocktail shrimp, and like the next day there's cocktail shrimp flying through the air and frogs that are like the size of buildings jumping around and shit. Like, everything's going bad, and it's because something's fucked up and not right about all of this. And it's all related, and all of the stuff that keeps happening is related to Eleanor's actions. And so she comes clean to her soulmate, Chidi, that she's not supposed to be here. And she convinces him to try and help her become a better person in the afterlife by teaching her ethics. So that if she ever does get caught, be like, hey, maybe they'll have mercy on you for having, you know, tried. And the show does like revolve around a lot of her like trying to become a better person while trying to like pull one over on the system that's been in place that determines who's good and who's bad. And they, like, again, that's obviously a concept you can work really well with. And like, if your show was just that, it could be a lot of very funny things. But the show goes much beyond that. There are other main characters that are like definitely of note. Jian Yu Li, he is a Buddhist monk that took a vow of silence at the age of 8. How do you get comedy out of a character who's got to be a mute? And he has such an incredible story arc, and it's one of the best parts of the show.
Excellent.
There's Tawny, who's she's like a mega wealthy, uptight British philanthropist. And she's like constantly name dropping celebrities like all over and all of the wonderful things she's done and all the money she raised for poor people and unfortunate people in her life. And it's like, it's a gimmick you can think like would get old, but again, like everything I'm going to tell you about this show, her story also goes really, really good places. And I mentioned Ted Danson plays Michael. He's the architect of the afterlife, and he chose to be the first angel who's ever architected one of these afterlife places and to actually live among the humans. So like this is it's a sort of his pet project, and he really wants it to go right because it's the first time that he's ever had control of a sector of the afterlife before. So he's got people to impress. And he is such a delight, top to bottom. Like, he's
cool,
effortlessly hilarious. And like anytime he is on screen, you literally, like, your ears and eyes will just be glued to him because his performance is so ridiculously good. And I think it's been a while since Ted Danson's been in anything of note. And this is absolutely one of those, I feel like this is absolutely one of those career defining roles, that they got for him in this show. Janet.
That's so cool.
Janet is really awesome. She is an AI terminal. And
I forgot about Janet.
Janet is awesome. She has all of the knowledge of the universe, and she can grant any desire instantaneously. She's got this very hilariously detached personality, that is just like, she's smiling all the time and just answering questions. And it's just, again, you kind of just have, like, you have to see it. You have to see it to get the performances, obviously. That's a big part of this show, is the performances are so top notch. And here's the weird part. I can't really talk about the story for this show much more, because if I do, and I never thought I would say this about a 30-minute weekly sitcom, There's spoilers. Don't go look anything up. Like, go let this show wash over you. It's very, very. I didn't expect that this show was ever even going to go and be anything other than like, it's going to be like episodic. Like, let's learn some life lessons. Let's get Eleanor to, be in the good place legitimately. And this story goes so many bigger places than that.
Now you're talking my language.
I know John has seen at least until the end of the first season.
Yep, I've seen the first season, and I think at the time that was the only season that was out.
Yeah,
I just never went back to it.
Yeah.
And
TV.
This show goes big. Like, this is a show that I think that when this show is operating at its best, despite the fact that it is a comedy, I think that at its highest highs, I would put it on the same level as a Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. I think that it handles its big moments so well, and it takes its time getting to where it needs to be, and everything makes sense. It's ridiculously hilarious. But it's also just like, oh, there's like this real actual heart to this. Like, this show basically functions as this examination of what an afterlife could mean, like what it is, how it feasibly functions, and they have a lot of room to play around within the concept, and like I feel like they explore those boundaries in a lot of very thoughtful and fun ways. And I think it's also the kind of show where you could probably run afoul of a lot of religious types. But it avoids ever endorsing or rejecting religious ideals. Like, it never says anything concrete. It's got a hell of progressive tone. Like, it very much talks about like the awful fucking things that people do to one another and how shit like racism and sexual harassment exists and are fucking terrible. But it's a show that feels very well intentioned with a much more, like we were talking about stuff in the Trails series earlier, and it reminded me a lot of this, and a lot of those same themes you will find in this show. And I think that like one of the bigger lessons I think the show kind of carries with itself is like, be a better person than you were yesterday. Like, it's not about being perfect. It's about just being a better person than you were before. And I think that like that kind of lets it feel not preachy or anything, or endorsing any kind of religion. Like I said, it stays very far away from all of that stuff. And it just kind of left me feeling a lot of positive feelings that I did not expect. And I think
that's really, really nice. I'm really glad this hit you so good, and I'm glad that I didn't really hear. I love that first season, but it's so hard to get any of us to watch TV.
Yeah.
I just kind of ran, like, it just popped up as a thing at random on my Netflix carousel. It was like, oh hey, here's a thing, and I was like, because I had watched Parks and Recreations loads of years ago. And I was like, oh, because you watched that, maybe you'll like The Good Place. And I was like, that's the only reason I gave it a look.
Cool. That just makes me happy that it like keeps that energy. It doesn't like get lost in being a big TV show, basically.
No, like, I think that's the thing that like it still has like that positive energy. It still maintains its comedic core. These characters, though, they go on really, really deep personal journeys into understanding themselves more. And even though the plot gets overwhelmingly large to a point where it's like, I don't know how you pulled this off in like 4 seasons of like 30-minute episodes. It's just like, I think it's only like, I think it's like 53 episodes or something. And like, I don't know how you pulled all of that off as well as you did. And while being able to balance it being a comedy, having your dramatic moments, but never coming across as overbearing or anything. It's just like, yeah, it just shocked the shit out of me. It's a show that left me feeling really good. I think it's an all-timer. Like, that's
so cool.
Like cliche as it might sound, like it made me laugh, made me cry, it made me want to like continue to be a better person. So yeah, like absolutely. Like if you've like it's on Netflix, so if you want to watch The Good Place, that is go check it out. It is really astonishing. Like I'm glad that like whatever compelled me to check it out that night was okay, Yeah, okay, because it was like start watching it, and I'm literally like 3 hours later and like 8 episodes in. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I guess it caught. Okay,
Awesome.
yeah.
I definitely plan to check this out next time I restart Netflix.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you'll like it. Like, I think it's got just the right amount of stuff in it to like, obviously it is.
I'm still on my mom's Netflix.
Well, there you go. You can jump right into season 2. Enjoy you some of that good stuff.
Beautiful. Thanks for sharing that, Polly. I'm really glad that show. I'm really happy that show stays good. I've got my tiny little array of non-anime I want to get to, in addition to the anime I want to get to.
Right.
But you never will.
I don't get to. It's a bit challenging. Oh my god. I'm looking at it on my Netflix queue. I still have She-Ra on here.
Oh god.
Jesus.
I need to finish that.
Remember that being the big zeitgeist for a while.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good show.
Yeah.
I like it. I want to wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
I had to watch Buddy, where it got complicated. So now now that's all tied. My life's drama is tied up with the show.
Oh no! That's always the
She-Ra.
worst. I watched some Sonic Boom as well.
really?
I like that whole series went on sale for like, what was it?
Really cheap.
It was like $25 or something. So I just bought the whole fucking series, which is like 100 little like. I think it's like 100 little 11-minute episodes, and I've watched like maybe 15 or 16 of them so far. I was like, oh hey, this is like of all the clips, like, cause I know this series mostly through clips, and I've seen a few full episodes here and there, but I've never actually kind of sat down and focused on it. It was like, oh yeah, like this actually is as snappy and funny and witty as the clips make it out to be.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, Sonic Boom
TV
seems
can
pretty
be
good.
TV can be good sometimes.
It can be fine. It doesn't need to be a Breaking Bad or a Better Call Saul. It helps if you are.
Sonic Boom really got, unfortunately, tied to that damn game.
That fucking game. Oofa doofa.
It's so funny. Hey, Quoth, is that a Name of the Wind reference in our chat?
Oh, is
Powerful. I don't know. Maybe it's just the name choice.
Couldn't be. Oh, well, yeah, yes. It is. All right, there you go.
Very good. Books are good too. Fuck. All right, I'm so like y'all playing a bunch of Trails.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably gonna need a big break after this.
And
so now I'm like looking at TV, like, oh yeah, they make stuff that's not. I told myself at the end of the year last year, because last year I was like. I think I played 12 long RPGs over the course of the year.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of RPG because each one
a month
is like, that's like 1 to 3 weeks a piece generally. So that's just like more than half of my free time. It felt like more than half of my free time for the year was just kind of devoted to this. That felt like, so now I'm like at like 6. I'm nearing the end of the year and I'm at like 6. That feels a lot more.
That's more manageable. It's still a lot of RPG hours, but it's not as like maybe over the top.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of looking at other stuff like, oh yeah, TV's nice too. Books are nice too. Movies are nice too. There's other stuff in this world.
But JRPGs are very good, especially when they're Trails.
Yeah. Like when
they're the best media.
Yeah, like when you're going, like if you're gonna take a straight shot of JRPG and it's that Falcom kind of shit. Yeah, you're sitting back. You're hitting that blue. It tastes real. It feels real good.
It does.
Thank you for the raid, Big Mike.
Thank you for the raid. So. All right, each of us has been playing Trails nonstop.
Oh god, this is funny. Like this wasn't planned. It just kind of like I know that we've basically become like the little podcast that's just always waving the Falcom flag, and you'd figure that like at some point we would all either be playing and like this would already have happened at some point, and it hasn't. But it finally has, and that like literally all 3 of us are at some point in Falcom's Legend of Heroes Trails series.
Yep.
All right, John, where are you at?
So where I'm at is that I'm not as far along as y'all. I haven't touched Cold Steel, but I'm hello, Mike. Thank you. I'm on Azure, which is the second Crossbell game. I've been playing for like 4 years, and now I'm 40 to 70 hour RPGs deep. Feels pretty reasonable to me.
That's chunky.
That's chunky.
There was a time where you were ahead of me.
There was a time where I was multiple games ahead of Red, and now look where we are.
Yeah.
I think I finished Trails 1 and then Trails 2 and 1 in like a year, and then I did waited 2 years or a year and played third, and then waited 2 years and played 0, and then waited a year and played third. So I'm in the middle of Azure, which is pretty beloved and talked up. Understandably.
Yeah.
Climactic. It's the SC of Crossbell.
Hits the ground running a lot faster.
I should say so. That prologue, huh?
I love how the prologue just immediately
jumps you in.
Goes from like a redo of the final boss of the first game.
Yeah, it's so rad.
So dope. Just like it reminds me of like later Mega Man games, Mega Man X games, where they would have like an extremely big and imposing intro boss.
Yeah,
but you can still take it out pretty easily. But it just makes you feel like this fucking badass.
It's like letting you kill a Metal Gear in the first 5 minutes of Revengeance.
It's exactly is having the Falcon final boss in the dungeon. It's a good video.
It's
game.
Awesome.
My dumb reference would be Wonder Boy Dragon's Curse, I think. Just straight up starts with the dungeon of the previous game ending.
So cool.
It's ridiculous. A reference I definitely did not get at the time. Because it was the first one I played.
Yeah.
But you can start with Azure. You can start with any Trails
why
game
wouldn't
you
you? I mean, you can literally start with any Trails game and not be lost at all.
I think I got mad on the internet because I kept seeing people saying, start with 0, it's fine. I think here's my issue. Why would you want to do that?
Yeah.
Because Trails in the Sky is very
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
Like, you can play Trails from 0. You'll miss some pretty big emotional beats.
Pretty big stuff.
Some pretty big stuff, but like the basic Falcom RPG arc is going to be intact. You'll fall in love with all the new characters. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fun.
But why would you want to do that when you could start with Sky, which is great?
Do you think that like if they ever went back and just like here's fucking Trails in the Sky, if they went back and just re-released that trilogy, do you think that it would be an easier? Because I really think the issue now is that the Sky games are only available basically on PC.
Yeah. I think the 0 thing is specifically people want to play on Switch.
Yeah, I really think that's the thing.
But everyone agrees 0 FC is rough to get into. Every first Falcom art game is rough to get into. They're all very slow.
Yeah.
I think 0 might be the least slow.
I'm playing 0 and I think that I enjoyed that game start a hell of a lot more than I have like the first maybe 10 hours of SC or like I don't even want to put an hour on. I don't even want to put an hour amount on Cold Steel 1's
Cold Steel's a lot.
Oh, that's a bit raw. And at that first month, that whole Elisa Reen thing, oh god, almost kneecapped that series like right out the gate. But yeah. But I always wondered like if they ever did but it's never gonna happen because Xseed has no interest, and Xseed still owns the rights to those games, and they will probably own the rights to those games in perpetuity. Just because I don't see them ever, I don't see Nisa ever wanting to like go back and grab older. Like I feel like Nisa went back and had to grab the Crossbell games because they're so intrinsically tied to Cold Steel, and 2, the fan outcry for them has just been nonstop. So it's just leaving money on the table.
The translation's done.
Yeah, and I don't
know how they legally licensed that translation. Because it touched so many people over the years.
I don't know. Like I just don't see Nisa wanting to go any further back than that. Like I feel like this move. I feel like 0 and Azure they begrudgingly did it.
Yeah.
Because these don't even have dubs. Where like they usually typically dub most things they do. Like this game doesn't even have a dub this time. Like they didn't call back any actors to do anything. They're just like, look, we're just getting this out as fast as we possibly can.
I mean. for what these games are. Like,
I get that. I've played they've released a number of 2D games with voice acting. I'm just saying. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
So if you could have if there's a series where I think that you could make that work, I think it's this series because I think the fan base is diehard enough. Neither here nor there though. Like I just think that that's sort of the point. And getting people to play Sky is hard because one, it does have a slow start, and two, it's not on Switch, and three, it's a PC game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like more likely than them doing a re-release. Like Kondo seemed to be hinting at, maybe we'll remake them in 3D.
Oh, I don't know.
And I wonder what the rights for that would be if it would go to Xseed first.
It would be it would be a new game. It would count as a new game entirely. I don't think that would be an issue at all.
But then they'd legally have to retranslate it.
Yeah. I don't see that happening. I think Kondo is just kind of I think that's a pipe dream because they're just constant.
Especially when they're got a lot of more new games they need to make to finish the saga.
They're working on East 10. They are 70% through the Trails series at this point, and like they said, all that's on their roadmap right now is probably East and Trails. So I don't see unless they outsource a remake to somebody and they want to take it with Falcom being completely hands off. I don't see that happening.
I just saw the darkest future possible.
Oh no!
God,
they contract a remake and it goes to phones only.
Oh god! Or even that would be fucking miserable, wouldn't it? I can even see them doing a big announce lead up, 20 years later, and then just the logo flashes on the screen and to Apple Arcade.
And it's still sprites, but it's the super shiny.
Oh yeah, they AI upscale
sprites, and it just looks really, really bad.
Mm-hmm. That's cursed as fuck.
Maybe do it some of those Final Fantasy ports, not the really recent ones, where everything, all the resolutions on the assets are different.
Yeah.
Some of the character profiles are super high res, and the sprites are the same.
Some of them are just the same.
And the font is awful.
Oh god, yeah, you've got to have an awful fucking font.
If they did a Trails in the Sky remake for phones that was as lovingly well done as the Pixel remasters,
I specifically meant the Steam ones that people were rightfully pissed over.
Yeah. Final Fantasy VI, the original Final Fantasy VI phone port,
real rough.
Off.
Same with Chrono Trigger. Same with FF.
I think the Final Fantasy ones just got pulled on Steam.
They just Pixel Remaster.
Chrono Trigger they fixed.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger got fixed, and Pixel Remaster is basically that's how you play Final Fantasy 1 through 6 now.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a weirdo nerd, you probably still want to play the originals as much as you can, just because they do ease up a lot, even on the SNES games, which probably don't need it.
Yeah.
But if you want Final Fantasy on the go, if you want abridged cut of FF2 and FF3.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was, which I was very okay with. That those hit me real right. Better than playing Final Fantasy 9 on your fucking phone. which was just a straight PS1 version with emulation.
Wait, you played it on your phone?
Yeah, I did.
Oh god.
That did not worsen my Final Fantasy 9 experience, I promise. I mean, it gave me fast forward, so that was already huge.
Hey, cool! I can get this game over with faster.
Exactly. Oh, Zela's in the chat. Hopelessly praised for a Gargov trilogy pixel remaster. Yes, get a clean pixel update of the PC 98 originals for the Legend of Heroes 3, 4, and 5.
Let's AI upscale all the graphics, baby.
No,
let's put the smooth filter on. You can't turn it off.
No.
Grandia remastered the shit out of this fucking thing.
Oh, brutal. So I'm in Azure. This game goes, huh? This game has some stuff in it.
This game goes, and you don't even know yet.
Yeah. Azure just hits the ground running. I don't know that there's any point of that game where I would say, oh, there's a lull. Even the intermission chapter, where it's
it's so funny.
The intermission chapter is so you guys you didn't put this here because you just wanted an excuse to do this. You put this here because you were having fun, and you just feel it.
You can't hurt us any more than you already did with the PSP versions for Gargo. It's funny. God. I think something I'm coming to real. All right, so a handful of things are making this experience better than so Zero. I came off a little bit like
Mhm.
a little frustrated just with kind of the parts of the Trails experience. Mostly, I think it was because I was kind of tired of the fighting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
understandable. That is not a combat system that evolves much ever.
Mhm. I was already wiping the floor with everything in third.
Mhm.
So then going into Zero and then continuing to stay on normal mode and then continuing to wipe the floor with
Yeah.
everything was maybe a mistake
Yeah,
on my part. I
yeah,
upped it to hard.
yeah. You gotta.
It feels great.
Yeah, yeah.
Azure I started Azure on hard and it feels fucking great. Every
Mhm.
boss has been like meaty. It honestly doesn't feel harder than like FC and SC did. It feels like, oh, I just slightly updated it to be
Yeah.
in tune with me actually knowing how to play the game.
Yeah. Like, I know what the
so that-
Orphan does now.
Yeah.
Oh, right. John and his.
It's like, oh yeah, I can actually play these games now. So I think I don't know. I feel like by the time you're done with SC, like by the time I was done with SC, I was probably ready for hard mode. And I think that
Yeah.
would have helped my third experience just because
Mhm.
that game has such good bosses.
Oh, God,
It's such a
yeah.
dungeon crawl.
Third, yeah, it is a dungeon crawl, though. Yeah, but that game's got like the best boss encounters of that trilogy.
Mm-hmm. And I think I did
Yeah.
a little bit of a disservice because I remember the final boss has like a big charge up move.
Oh,
that
yeah.
it, like charges up. Oh, I'm gonna do the big scary move. I'm gonna do the big scary move. And I was just like Earthwall.
Yeah,
Oh,
Earthwall,
it
everything.
didn't hurt them. All right. That was a nice thing in Zero is that Earthwall is no longer they rebalanced it, so there's only adamantine guard and it's very expensive.
It's like 80 EP to cast, and like for most of the game, you're barely breaking 150 EP.
Mm-hmm. I think it might be like 120. They realized like Earthwall is the thing you use to play
in
Trails
1 through
in the
3.
sky.
Yeah,
in 1 through 3. So I think that was a classy way to keep the mechanic, but rebalance it.
yeah.
And I'm sure at hard, it's probably doesn't feel quite as overpowered.
Mm-mm.
So that's all. That's been extremely nice. I'm just having so much fun, like playing the video game part very thoughtfully.
Yeah.
Another thing I'm really starting to enjoy is I don't know. I just love support requests now.
They're really good in Azure.
Yeah. I feel like a switch flipped in my brain, and now I'm just like happily going along and through all these little side quests between the big story beats. Like, yay, this is so nice.
Mm-hmm. The ones in like chapter 2 are so good and giving you what you want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A lot of the ones you've been posting, I was like, oh right, this was so funny, like the beauty pageant.
God, yes.
the beauty pageant, and then just all the nice stories, like the disgraced diet member whose children are coming to town and wanting to meet their dad again after 15 years after he divorced their mom, and he's like hiding from them, like they must hate me, they're here to yell at me. And it's just really sweet. There's a side quest that's like track down this fake goods manufacturer who's making like bootleg merch or whatever. And then it ends up with you chasing her through a train and then on top of a train and fighting, like she bumps into terrorists from the previous chapter and they help her, and then you're fighting terrorists on top of a train. And I'm just
the
like,
fucking escalation in that one is so insane. Yeah.
They animated all the stuff, the scenery rushing by you as you're fighting on top of the train. In the side quest, there's a car chase in a different side quest. It's great. Xenoblade would never in a billion years.
No, like Xenoblade side quests are just like, hey man, this enemy might drop an item you want. Yeah.
Trail side quests are like, this will take 20 to 30 minutes and there's going to be 5 of these like every 6 hours.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
Yeah. It's
so they put a lot of love into them.
Yeah.
All right.
That's good. Right. Yeah. Okay. So that's where we're at with Azure. You're feeling it. The story's moving forward. You're ready. I have
a complaint.
Uh-oh.
I have a Trails complaint.
What?
no.
It has been building and building,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
in Azure, there have been times where I am shaking my screen and I'm yelling, please, dear God, kill somebody that I like. Please, for once in your goddamn life, kill somebody that I like. Make me feel bad. Make me feel the stakes of this big conflict. Please.
I
Kill
don't
anybody.
think you're gonna like this
Ever.
series if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that's kind of that's a thing.
It's one of the big complaints I see from people online.
Trails of nobody dies.
Yeah.
You have 100,000 characters. Thin the herd. It's fine.
And they all lived happily ever after. Trails of Kuro, whatever.
Yeah.
They literally, there's been coups, there's been terrorist attacks, there's been more terrorist attacks, there's been islands rising out of the sea. Nobody dies.
No.
Kill people.
I remember when I played first chapter, and I knew going in that game had a crazy twist ending that was going to break your heart. So like, I thought for sure at some point, like the coup is going to turn extremely violent and a bunch of characters are going to die. And then, no, it's extremely chill, actually.
Nope, it's fine.
I did not realize the tone of Trails, but that is the tone of Trails.
It's really bad things happen, but not like that. Not like that.
No.
Not people dying.
No.
It's people. I am sad because a person you don't know in my backstory died a long time ago.
Yeah, a lot of that. Like
these nameless police officers or these nameless terrorists died. Don't you feel so bad that these people you don't know died?
Or my sibling from 10 years ago.
My sibling from 10 years ago, you never met, died. Like maybe third does the best where it's like they actually have like a bunch of flashbacks with this character throughout the game. So you actually have like that one probably hits the hardest for me because you get to know that character.
I just realized that's also Lloyd.
Yeah, it's really Lloyd.
Yeah, oh yeah, and all of them have the same backstory also, which is a little bit. Which it's like, okay, we're getting dramatic. Oh, somebody in my backstory died. Oh, you don't know them. It's fine. That's Randy too. I'm just like, okay, all right.
Thing I've realized after playing a whole bunch of these games that they have these tropes that they love to use over and over and over.
At least in Zero, Zero and Azure, it's not always a woman.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm. The thing that really killed me was that at the very start of the current chapter I'm on, a side character who has a close relationship with several important characters that I like a lot seems to die.
I know who you're talking about.
And I was like, thank you, God. It was a great scene. It built.
It feels awful.
It feels awful. It builds the stakes for the scene, and suddenly, like, I'm like, okay, I'm really invested in all of the stuff that's going to happen. And then at the very end, there's a little newspaper thing and says, oh, that character was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. And we're still not sure what's going to happen. She has a death scene. And then I'm just like, they have a death scene. And I'm just like, well, all right, I know. Well, now I know they're not going to die. Nobody is ever going to die.
No.
Nothing bad that happens will ever be that bad. Even if it's a giant terrorist attack, even if it's a coup, it'll be fine. And because in the next game, the villain's gonna join your team, and they want to make sure that you don't hate them. So they can't do anything. That is
part of it. Yeah,
they can't do anything that evil. They can't make you hate this character by killing somebody that you like.
No one can be an actual irredeemable monster.
Yeah, you can't be like. There are a couple of irredeemable monsters, but compared to the people that are not going to be irredeemable monsters,
and even they don't kill anybody. You have a couple horrible people, have them kill somebody. It's fine.
Yeah.
So that's the big complaint is that my big complaint isn't with the slowness, it isn't with the side quests, and it isn't with the combat. It's with when it actually goes full Trails, when it's in big drama mode, and I just realized when I'm playing another RPG, I know that if I'm playing Xenosaga, I know somebody can beat it. If I'm playing, if I'm playing, I played several games this year where the stakes are just a little bit more deeply felt because they're just willing. They're willing to let the violence have that kind of impact. They still do all these other things that hit me really hard. The way that all the aftershock of the start of chapter 4 in Azure hits really hard. It's really well done. But I think this is something the series just doesn't do that other RPGs do.
Yeah.
That I need sometimes is that kind of stakes. And I finally got it off of my chest. I've been feeling that for the last week. It's been on my thing. Do y'all hate me?
Yes. Absolutely.
No, I knew this was going to happen. I was going to say something mean about Trails and then everyone was going to hate me.
Yep, that's how it is. You now face the full righteous fury of the Falcon fandom. You will never recover from this.
The church will judge your sins.
Yeah, you're done.
The heretic hunter is coming for me.
You're done. Now. You're done. It's over. There's nothing left, friend.
I think having recognized that and then hearing y'all say, because I knew me saying that was going to go two ways. It was either going to be y'all would say, "Ooh, yeah," or y'all would be biting your tongues because you knew something was coming up that I wasn't going to be ready for, and I was trying to pull.
Well, you don't know which one we're actually doing.
You don't know really what we're talking about here. It could really be anything, and me and Rhett really could have met before and talked like we're going to fucking no-sell anything you say about Trails at this point. We have to. Like, we either have to play it up or we have to fucking no-sell it at this point because me and Red have played everything at this point. So you don't really... I don't know that
there's
you can...
transition.
I don't know that you can trust our reactions that much.
In any case, I can just accept that this is a thing about Trails and I can enjoy all the many virtues. There's something Rhett said where it's like when these games spend so long with just kind of living in a setting and living with these characters in a kind of grounded way so that when the big stuff happens, it does feel really intense.
Yeah.
And that still happens.
But you're right in that
multiple times in chapter 4 and chapter 3. Yeah, Rhett?
You're definitely right that one in particular is like this big holy shit moment. And then, but they're still clinging to life. And you're just like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Like you can never truly, I don't know, like hurt the player that much. And then
I think Falcom, if we've learned anything about them, I think that Trails 3rd taught us that they really love their characters. I think that they might really just. I think
they might a little too much.
Yeah, they maybe.
That they don't want to ever say this character's story ends here.
Yeah, I think really that's the thing is that they just really love their characters a lot.
Yeah, that was my complaint. That was my complaint about the Higurashi ending. It's
a little too convenient. Like it's a little too contrived and convenient.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry. You guys haven't even seen that new fucking anime where they redeemed Takano for real.
Oh my.
And
Tepe. Good job. Yay. That's what I want to watch Higurashi for. Let's redeem the child abuser.
Oh my god.
Whose depiction in the visual novel was absolutely vile.
There's a line in there that just you don't come back from.
Yeah. Like I remember reading that whole Satoko arc in Like that was some of the hardest shit I've ever had to stream and like get through and just not like fall to fucking pieces. So trying to redeem that guy. No, it's not gonna happen. The whole idea, the whole premise of your show falls apart if that is going to be a part of it at all. That's a deal breaker for me.
I think that's the general. I kind of conflate Trails and Higurashi a lot in my mind now because it's like I think they both have a lot of the same virtues where they both do get like really real.
Yep.
They're the big moments they feel that Trails will have two characters have a conversation and that one character's dialogue will just absolutely cut to the bone in a way that feels like it's speaking from something that happened.
Yeah,
to that
that's
author.
the thing. Is that's something that always hits me about a lot of those more interpersonal scenes in these games, is that they feel like they're coming from somebody that is writing about a lived experience, despite the fact that they're writing this big anime story. If you dig deep into what this story is saying, it's very easy to understand, like
Easy.
human drama.
Yeah, exactly. It's people, it's humans, it's feeling irredeemable and feeling like you've done things nobody can forgive, and then having people love you anyway.
Yeah.
It's having gone, it's healing from like a unbelievably horrible trauma. And how do you come back from that? How do you face that you're safe now and you're with people that love you?
Yep. How do you allow
and that
yourself
you
to
can-
accept that?
How do you allow yourself to accept that? Because that's really hard.
Yeah, it is. And like that, the story beats in which, like, I think that those are the ones that resound the most for me, are characters that like don't see themselves as worthy of the good things being offered to them. They can't let themselves have it for some reason. And I think that those are the stories that most resonated. And that felt like the most just, stop it.
Oh my God, it hits real hard. And it hits in a way that basically I can't think of another RPG.
No, there's no other
lands
RPG
that.
I've played that gives me the kind of feelings that the Trails series has given me. And I know that, like, we say this shit all the time. Like, us basically having a Trails of Love episode, like, right now, like, it's not, like, I don't think that we're saying anything we've never said before. But it's just a matter of this fact that I've never played anything that resonates this strongly and feels this fucking human. And that's not like that's not shade at anybody else, because I certainly like big and dumb RPGs too. I love Xenosaga. I love Xenoblade. Fucking we love Neptunia. Come on, like, we love all that shit. But this, like, Falcom is operating on a level of storytelling with this medium that nobody else is really touching. And if they are, show those things to me.
I've got a couple things on. Well, we can talk about it in Game of the Year.
Sure.
I think that I feel like it's a spectrum on multiple angles here, because like I can have that frustration where I think Falcom's drama would hit me harder if I felt the stakes a little bit more. But then it does small scale human stakes.
Yeah.
About better than anybody.
Yeah.
So I think both of those can be true. It's really good. I really like Trails.
Yeah.
But it also that is the part where I'm kind of like, I really need to play some other fucking RPGs for a while, because that aspect of it is kind of, in this game in particular, is wearing on me, because it's, again, the combat is the part I'm enjoying full throttle. I'm enjoying the side quest full throttle. I'm having a slightly muted response to the big moments, which is initially why I played these games in the first place. Now I'm enjoying it for all the world building and texture and being with characters that I love, which is pretty cool, actually. It's cool that I got me in that mode.
Yeah. With his wife Ellie again, he couldn't be happier.
My wife Ellie, that I love with my whole heart. She's so beautiful. Except then Chloe shows up, and I love Chloe. There's so many good purple haired girls in Trails.
Yeah.
God. Y'all gonna convince me to play Trails. Too many JRPGs. There's a billion Trails games. You can just play Trails FC and Trails SC, and it'll be one of the best RPGs you've ever played.
If you just play Trails in the Sky 1 and 2 and you say like, hey, this, like I gave somebody else that advice earlier this week when they were like, hey, what RPG should I play? Like, look, if you just play Trails in the Sky FC and Trails in the Sky SC, you will get enough of a fantastically told story with characters that you care a lot about and that has the big emotional catharses that you want in these kinds of games. And despite the fact that there are 7+ other games afterward, you can still shut the door and walk away from that having had a nice, fulfilling time.
But there is that third one that's really good too.
Third is really good. It is really good. And
maybe, as John put it, the best game that they are capable of making.
Yeah, it's
I said
it's
that
definitely
ago, and it's extremely how I feel.
Third is like the poison pill into getting into the rest of the franchise.
Balls deep in Crossbell, and I'm like, third. I don't see them ever. I don't see them topping this one.
Yeah, I think
we'll talk after you finish this one.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Azure goes places that is really incredible. So
that's true. The other thing I said at the end of Zero was like Trails always goes a little bit harder than I expect. So I have like a vision of how I think Azure might go, and I know it is going to be a little bit harder and better than I expect.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a blueberry go down my throat. Even if nobody is going to die, it can still be, or like one villain, redeemed villain, or maybe like one other character. We'll see. We'll see. So I'm really having a good time. I think. All right, I want to. Both of you have played Trails. Who wants to go first?
Mine is pretty fast.
I think you should go.
I'm playing Trails from Zero, which is the game that comes before the one John is playing, which means I probably should have talked first. But I already played this game, and I played a bad translation of it because the Crossbell games are really required knowledge once you hit the midpoint of the Trails of Cold Steel series. So basically I had a summer to kind of get through both Zero and Azure on bad PSP translations where a jazz bar was called a jizz bar. And there was no there's no personality in the dialogue. You weren't really getting a lot of like these characters and who they are as people. So I came away from Zero the first time feeling really underwhelmed. And it was also the fact that but it was also the fact that okay, I'm already so late in the series that I'm seeing these bigger things happen. So going back to a different arc and starting all over, learning this new cast of characters and kind of going through the small time jobs first and working their way toward the RPG that's happening, which is again a thing that happens in Trails in the Sky, is that your characters start doing these small time jobs, but then they the toilet flushes and they get pulled toward the JRPG that's happening. So you gotta wait for your characters to get sucked toward the big giant JRPG that's happening because they're not prepared for it yet, and it makes sense why they're not. But yeah, I'm at that point now where the big things are happening. We just met up with I think the linchpin new character of the series last night. I'm up to the end of chapter 3, and it's okay, yeah, I'm here now. These characters feel like people to me now in a way that good writing is conducive to making happen. And that was really kind of my big problems with that is just that everything felt flat and kind of but now it's oh no, I'm here. I love these characters a lot. I'm gonna hug them all. Randy, get over here, bring it in. Tio, come here. We're buying you 1,000,000 Mishy plushies. Let's go.
A flat cap. You really got to have the knowledge of the Franco-Prussian War game in order to enjoy France and Germany's dynamic in the World War I quadrilogy.
That's
unreal.
Yeah, that's basically something I've probably said in my life. You could probably go back at any point in my life and find that
experience.
Yeah, that's the Trails experience.
So yeah, the localization, a good localization actually helps a lot. It turns out with an RPG with this much reading.
Yeah. The localization that I played wasn't really a localization the first time. It was just, this is machine translated, and we went back and punched it up by using one pass. And even then, some stuff wasn't translated. So, all of the notebook stuff wasn't translated in the version that I played. So it was oh, cool, I've got to figure this out myself. Good. But yeah, this is good. That good Trails combat feels really nice. enjoying the characters. I think that in this game, like the side quests still haven't reached that point yet. Where like, because Azure I know has banger after banger after banger for side quests, and I'm just not feeling that. I still do them because it's fucking trails, and it's just like, it's, I need my Grail locket.
It's tricky. It's like you never know if this was going to be the one that blows your socks off.
Yeah, so you just do them all. So you just do them all, and that's fine. So, but yeah, I'm enjoying this game a lot more this time, and just fully like being back in that mindset of playing a Trails game again is just like, that's just like warm apple pie on a Christmas morning or something, kind of comfortable, I think. But yeah, that's me. That's my Trails thing. It's real simple. All right, Rhett.
You want to take a 5-minute break?
We're probably going to need to. So I'll tell you what, we'll be back in like 5 minutes before we round this whole thing out.
Hell yeah.
And all that fun stuff. Be right back.
Blah, 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 blah. I don't even know how to talk about this one. It's so big.
It's a big. It's like your penis. I don't know how to talk about it. It's so big. Throwback.
Throwback.
Yep, that's all I got.
I'm back.
Is that Sailor Moon?
That's what
That was Trails music.
Oh,
I had that on my YouTube before we did the podcast. I had Trails music playing to get ready. I like put video game music on, get ready for stuff. So, and I had that on my phone, and it was like, oh, I'll just have that playing. All right, Rhett.
Okay.
Now just talk about Cold Steel 4, but don't spoil it for me, please.
Okay. So we live?
Yep, we're live.
Okay.
No big spoilers. I don't really want to know anything about like how the game affected you or like impressions on it. Just talk about it, but without like communicating anything about the game.
Great.
I'm kidding completely.
Okay, so
I need you to be a Tim Rogers review. God damn, that was a good one. Fuck, I'm proud of that shit. God damn.
Oh, very good. Oh, that hit my soul.
Oh.
Unfortunately lost on me because I haven't read any of his reviews.
It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to. It's just pretentious up its own ass garbage.
That may be vintage Tim Rogers. I think modern Tim Rogers is just like, I don't even know. It's 6-hour video essays now. It's
God. So it's the opposite of doing like an objective game review.
It's like where you think
had good graphics.
It's
9 to 10.
No,
it's where you think like if video is long, that means it's smart and good.
Is it the type that starts with like an hour of his childhood?
yes,
How it relates? Okay, that kind of.
It's that kind of bad review where it like talks about a bunch of stuff that isn't really related to the game, and then he would just say wrong things about games and just like lie, and then he'd say like, "Oh, I was lying to troll," and there's so many things that irritate me here.
Okay.
All right, continue, Rhett.
Okay. Yeah. So we're talking about Trails. I've been playing at Trails as well.
Oh, imagine that! Like in the
Trails.
basically, this ended up being the Trails themed episode we were always gonna do.
But this one I've been working on for a while. I've been mentioning Trails of Cold Steel for the last year because I started Cold Steel 1 like before Game of the Year last year. Like I didn't consider because I hadn't even finished it. I finished it up in January, start of the year. Immediately, boom, Cold Steel 2 in like February. Took a few months off, Cold Steel 3, boom. And I remember specifically saying like I shotgunned that one so hard where my average hours played was like 5.5. And I'm like, boy, I don't even actually have enough time in the day. How did you do that? You've really made up for it on weekends. That one left me a little exhausted because I had just put 110% of free time into it.
You exhausted your physical body in the pursuit of Trails Enlightenment.
Yes. So that one rips your soul out at the end, and I was like, okay, when I go into Cold Steel 4, I'm not going to go as hard on it, and I still beat it in like a month and a half, even though it's like the longest one. So it was still going pretty hard on it. Cold Steel 4 it's a monolith.
Yeah.
It's such a massive thing that I'm like, and I was a little hesitant on this one because I know on certain websites people don't like this one.
Oh
like,
yeah, this is definitely I mean, this is more of a fandom thing, really. The fandom does not like Cold Steel 4,
and I find that interesting. I said to John, like, at one point, like, this one's kind of boring in a way I didn't expect. And then later on, I said, like, Xenoblade 3 kind of lost me a bit towards the start, and then got me back during the final boss fight. Whereas Cold Steel 4 lost me a bit early on, and then got me back like a third of the way through.
Oh, okay. Good.
Like significantly earlier.
Yeah, you were complaining, and then you said something like that. I was like, okay, so it's okay. This one's all right.
It's fine. But it's like, it is a game that kind of quadruples down on a lot of that series' tendencies and indulgences for good and for bad. Like, some of the stuff you're doing in some of the acts, like a problem I've had with the Cold Steel games, especially like 2 and 3, is that sometimes they'll have one plot point they want to do, like, or one kind of setup, and they'll do it 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
This game does that twice, and it's just puzzling. Where, like, I'm trying to talk very, very non-spoilery.
No, you're doing great.
There's one part early on, Act 1 is like, we need to find the 7 magic spots. And I'm like, oh boy, this ain't great. And then, so your team has these 3 to do. So you don't actually do all 7 because that would take fucking forever.
Be real shitty and boring.
Yeah. But so you control the characters that are doing a specific 3, and that's a good reason for the team to split up, and so you don't have a million playable characters, is that the others are being handled off screen. The problem is that in each of those, then you confront a villain, and you fight them to half health, and then it looks like your team is about to lose, and then someone standing on a cliff jumps in to save you. And they do that 3 times in a row, and I'm just like,
Oh,
what are you doing?
oh no.
And
They already do that so much.
Oh, yeah.
Again, it's just the way they do things in this franchise, and they just don't ever see any need to change.
Yeah.
It is the DNA of this series.
It's like, this is like Dragon Quest remaining the same game for the last 30 years. Falcom seems kind of dug in on certain things that they use to advance a story.
Yeah, the very tropiness. Like, there's a line of dialogue at one point where somebody says "last minute miracle," and that made me think about how kiseki in Japanese, apparently it actually does mean like a path between 2 points, which is how it got localized as trails.
Yeah,
but it also means miracle. Yeah, so I thought "last minute miracle" kind of feels like a other way of thinking of the series title. And it's always characters jumping in to save you. But then Act 2 also has the most insane, we're going to do the same plot point 3 times of, I couldn't believe that they did this 3 times in a row, where 2 female characters are being held captive under, like, either they're imprisoned or the military has them, or they're under house arrest, and you need to go rescue them. Mm-hmm. 2 female characters 3 times in a row.
Yep.
I'm just like, what?
Yeah, it's a little silly.
I figured out exactly who it was going to be the 3rd time, because I'm like, well, you already showed me kind
process of elimination here.
Yeah, it's like, well, I still don't have this character back, so it has to be them next time, and it was very just puzzling choices. Like, this game for the first like half, or maybe, I don't know, it's a big fucking game. I don't even know where the half point is. For a lot of it, it feels burdened by its cast size.
Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, that is a consistent problem with the Cold Steel series entirely.
But this one especially is, there's
this
just
one being
so
the
many
culmination
characters.
Of everything.
Because it's not just the culmination of the 4 Cold Steel games, which are massive on their own.
It is 4 Cold Steel games.
The 4, it's the biggest one they've done yet in terms of number of games and the length of each game. And then it's also the culmination or callbacks to everything.
Crossbell and Liberal.
All of Crossbell and all of Liberal.
Like, oh, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, so the cast size is just ridiculous. I feel a lot of the Cold Steel characters, like the original Class 7, they really kind of just stand around waiting for their moment a lot of the game.
Yeah.
Like, my favorite is Fee. She doesn't really do anything until her big moment at the end.
Yeah.
Because those are characters that had their arcs 2 games ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
And since Cold Steel 3, they've just kind of been there to be playable. And it's a little rough.
Yeah.
But and then the boys get it worse for sure, where like people aren't sure if Machias has a character arc in this game.
I didn't know that there were boys in Cold Steel besides Reen.
Yeah, a lot of people probably see the Cold Steel series that way, and justly so. Like, the way that it's written, it definitely kind of is a problem.
in class 7, there's actually more boys than girls by 1, I think.
But you wouldn't know that.
But everybody loves the girls.
Certainly wouldn't know from Twitter.
I feel like they could have maybe combined 2 of them into one character to make someone a little more well-rounded.
Yeah.
And then there's the bonding events, which I probably should talk about.
Oof.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Because Reen himself never acts out of character, I think. He's always very... He does... I don't know.
He's just stoic anime boy. Like, and he never
he's a little
really...
flat, but...
He never really breaks from that. Like, he's always going to do the right thing. He's always thinking of other people, putting them ahead of himself. Like, he's that headstrong, perfect anime boy.
The thing is that, like, every female character in this game loses agency around him.
Yeah, it's real
because
bad.
It's not so much that it's a harem, because all of these scenes are missable.
Yeah.
You don't have to
You don't
watch
have
them,
to engage with the bonding events at all.
but you miss so much good stuff in there as well if you don't. Because the problem with the bonding events, and so a thing in this one is that almost all of the bonding events for the girls have a little heart next to them now to indicate that a mechanic is saying, hey, if you get 2 hearts for the girl, then you can confess to her at the end of the game. So the bonding events for the boys just feel like,
feel
you can do that one if you want.
It's really...
They're very tacked on.
Yeah, they feel tacked on and just not... Yeah.
I did view all of them, like after a certain point, like maybe I missed a few at the start, and I was just like, so far the bonding events have been good, so I'm going to watch all of them and just reload my save because they don't actually give you enough points. And you know, some of the ones with some of the characters, I was like, there's a thing that comes up like right near the end of the game that I saw coming because I'd seen a certain character's bonding event, and I was like, I remember that sword. But the bonding events with girls are weird because some of them just are super flirty fan service scenes. And then some of them are like major character development that you should just need to see anyways.
Yeah.
Like the ones, I probably shouldn't say character names, but some of them are just like, and it's weird because it's like, you should see these, but you definitely shouldn't want to actually date that girl.
Yeah. There's one character in particular where it's just like, this did not...
That's the sister. I know this one.
Well, the sister might not actually be the worst possible choice, which is saying
not,
a lot.
Yeah, it's not the worst. Yeah, that character is not the worst. That's not the one where, like, I saw that there was a final romantic arc with this character, and I just literally said, what are you doing? This does not... No!
And then even then, like, Reen plays it off as cool as he can. Like, he never really commits to...
He never commits to it, but he doesn't really hard shut it down. And it's like, oh, well, hey, you know, I'll wait for you. Wink, wink.
Yeah, a number of the girls are younger than Reen by, like, a couple of years, at least. I don't know how old he is.
Really fucking weird. And then there's... One character is, like... I consider her one of the best characters in the Cold Steel series, and I feel that like her entire arc is really interesting and cool when you look at what she's had to go through.
In Cold Steel 3, for sure.
And
then this game.
And then her final bonding events are just like, oh, we aren't talking about any of that, and it's just about, my pussy's wet for you. Like, oh, okay. Okay.
Hers in particular, both of them are just like super flirty, like we went fishing or we played volley or tennis. And then some of them are like visiting a grave or like learning how her parents died.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, okay. Like super hot moments for sure. Like I think the Fee second one just feels like this just should have been a major cutscene in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's such an important event, and it's just weird. Like, I think as far as romance goes, the lower ones are really cute. I think Emma's are pretty good, and I did not see Elisa's. I didn't see Sarah's either. I went for... I'm awful.
Oh, man. I saw your achievement list, don't you worry.
I saw the Elise achievement.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, so for the final choice, I specifically picked the worst two options first before going with the real choice. But okay.
Okay.
The game. Okay, so the game got me good because there's a line of dialogue that I misinterpreted it horribly.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, towards the end, if you do like one last event with each girl, either they will ask Reen on a date or you can ask them on a date, depending on, the relationship. So I had made a date with 2 different girls and then like 3 others asked Reen on a date. So now you get a literal list. Who do you choose? And then you save right before that point, obviously.
Yeah.
So I picked the worst possible option first. And Reen says something like, but first I need to go turn somebody down. Sigh, I really am the worst. And I think, oh, yes, that makes sense given who I just picked. He's going to go shut her the fuck down.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't.
No.
And I'm like, Reen, you really weren't that dismissive there. I'm sorry, buddy. You kind of messed that one up.
Well, I mean, that's Reen's interactions with women throughout this whole series, really.
Yeah.
It's like, you suck at this.
And then I reloaded and picked the sister.
Oh.
And Reen goes, and now I've got to go shut somebody down. And I'm like, oh, yes, that makes sense. And then he doesn't.
He doesn't.
He hugs the sister very tightly. And I'm like, my man, what are you doing here? So I reload the save again. And I pick the girl I actually want, who was Fee, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And he says the same line again.
And
I've got to go turn somebody down. And I'm like, wait. I go, oh, he's referring to the girl you picked for make a date with.
Yeah.
Which wasn't any of those 3.
Yeah.
So because they didn't just like put the name in there, I misinterpreted who it was talking to about. Because then I get that line of dialogue and then he's like, Fee, I love you. And I'm like, wait.
What?
Buddy, this is the worst shutting down yet.
Oh my God, that's a very good.
That's a very good misunderstanding.
So confused. Okay, so I think that's a lot of the negatives out of the way.
The harem / bonding shit in Cold Steel 4 is just misery. Like, I knew that it was a big downside of Cold Steel 4 for me when I played that game. When I was like watching you do it through screenshots, it just like oh my God, yeah, I remember sitting through a lot of that shit, just thumbing through it as fast as I could because I gave no fucks. I had a choice. I made my choice. I liked that event, and I was like, all right, that's my pick. I made the right choice, and it felt nice.
I think you made a good choice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's frustrating when some of those scenes are legitimately really good and didn't need to have romantic option as a mandatory element.
Yeah, this is Falcom looking at the Persona games and saying, what did they do? And they only looked at like Persona 3 or 4, I guess, and there's like, okay, you can date all of the girls with no consequences whatsoever. And they just leaned into that because like, hey, that's what you got to do to be because Falcom at this point was starting to gain traction, and it's like, okay, well, we need to maintain that traction, so let's do the thing the popular game is doing. I really think that like as much as Falcom fans will get pissed off at me for saying something like that and daring to make that comparison, literally a lot of the stuff in Cold Steel feels like decisions made because, like,
I mean, Cold Steel 1 especially is the school setting and the bonding events. Oh, we're the kind of a Persona now.
The bonding events, the calendar, like it all is just literally like, look, I love Falcom to bits, but even I can say, look, they knew they were getting popular, and they're definitely trying to maintain that with some popular tropes from, and why not copy from the most popular game?
Yeah.
Yep.
A thing I saw mentioned is that the Crossbell games actually do being a harem better because all of it happens in the main storyline. Like everybody's kind of flirty with Lloyd.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very good.
Yeah. it's because the bonding events happen in these isolated things that you may or may not see.
Yep.
It never bleeds into the main storyline, so these characters just start acting wildly out of character.
And that's what happens in Persona. That is exactly like it's all compartmentalized. It's all
every game that does this shit.
It's all compartmentalized.
Wants to include the dating sim stuff into their big epic RPG.
Yeah.
And the only way they can know how to do it is with these isolated one-offs, which just doesn't. That's not how you write romance. It doesn't work.
It's not. It's the reason that the romance worked in Trails in the Sky. It's because it was intrinsically what made that story whole, and those characters were written like that. I didn't have to go try to date somebody. And then like when you
that one in particular.
Yeah, I'm just really hoping they leave this shit behind after Cold Steel, because it was such a miserable part of the Cold Steel 4 experience for me.
But also, will I be able to import my save into the next game?
Who knows?
The thing about, and in Cold Steel 4, the choice happens so late in the game that there were like 3 other times total where I would talk to Fee and like there would be a little extra obvious dialogue added on, like wink, wink.
Yeah.
Nudge, nudge. And then followed up by, but we have to keep acting professional. So don't bring it up again, buddy.
Yeah, it's so weird. Definitely don't talk about the fact that I want to suck your wee-wee during the mission.
So those are the negatives.
Yeah.
So the game has pretty low lows. I don't want to... Maybe the lowest lows of Trails, because Trails in general is so stellar, I think.
Yeah. Most of the time,
and these are such big games. Like, it makes sense.
And this is the biggest one. Like my Steam playtime, this is obviously not all playtime, is 136.6 hours. Like that's over twice as long as Cold Steel 2.
Yeah. Woo. Woo. And Cold Steel 2 is a big boy.
No, Cold Steel 2 is the shortest one. I think it's
I remember that game
4,
being a
3, 1, 2.
I think that one.
How long to beat says Cold Steel 2 is the shortest?
That's wild, because I remember that game. I remember
that.
I remember 2 feeling just so fucking long. Whatever.
Again, I think I'm just saying, like, shotgunning them, I definitely felt 2 was the shortest in terms of how long it took me just playing every day and then my actual Steam playtime. Because that game just has a momentum that I don't think any of the others do. I think Cold Steel 2 just fucking hits the game ground sprinting. So Cold Steel 4, though, it has the low lows. And, oh, God, the fucking repeated... There's a hot spring you can keep going back to. And there's always these dumb events in there. And one of them is specifically like, bring these 6 underage characters with you. And I'm like, come on.
It's real bad.
Like all of them. Every single one is like under 18. At the same
time, man, like somebody's just having a lot of fun putting these events into the game.
And that was the one time I didn't need to go back and change my party lineup. Because those were the characters I was using anyways. But then you just have this painfully awkward scene with Reen sitting in a hot spring with all these girls. And one of them says, take your pick.
Yeah, okay.
Like, what the fuck? Actually, the take your pick line was a different scene with different girls. I forgot. I forgot. It was like the older half of the cast. But also, still, what the fuck?
Oh, it's so fucked up.
Okay.
Cold Steel, they're appealing to us or to a demographic that anime tries to appeal to.
Yeah, like again, like it's just Falcom
it's definitely
doing...
where I go. The DM to Polly goes, wow, this is extremely gross. And the DM to John goes, this is extremely choice. It's ridiculous. It's maybe a little inappropriate.
Take your pick.
So the game has some low lows, as I've said like 3 times now. It also probably has some of the highest highs.
Oh, yeah. The highs are real good.
The highs are so good. Like the end of each act, like the act 1 ending is, I'm really meaning the Fragments chapter, which is just insane.
Oh, God, it's so good.
They do a thing that they haven't done. They've had this trump card that they can play. They haven't done it in 9 games, and they finally do it. I couldn't believe it. that they wait for the perfect moment, hundreds of hours to do a thing, and they do it.
That's restraint.
That's restraint.
That's some blue balling. Like, that is like you finally release, and it's just like, yeah, your nuts are sore the next day.
So the Trails series has been released in a really weird order in America.
Yeah.
Where it's gone like first chapter, 5-year gap, second chapter, 1 month gap, Cold Steel. And then Cold Steel 2, 3, 4, and now 0.
I remember talking through that with Cecile because I was convinced that Cold Steel came out before SC over here, and then it came out 1 month after.
1 month after.
It almost made it first. It would have been even funnier if it actually did make it out first.
Yeah.
But technically it did not. But it's been very difficult to play these games in the proper release order. You still can't if you're waiting on the official versions because Azure is not out till next year.
Yeah, Azure is out.
Zero only came out like a month ago. Polly's playing it now.
Yeah.
And the Geofront version of Azure came out last year, and it was my game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So by holding back, me and John are in a position to actually play all of them with good translations in order.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And like, there's been arguments because of Zero coming out, like, oh, should you play Sky first, or can you start with this one? And in a way, at the start of that, I was on the you can start with Zero team. Because it's like, listen, if you just want to play it, just fucking play it. You'll miss some stuff, but like, it's fine. This game got me back on fucking play Trails in the Sky first.
Yeah. There's enough pulling back and bringing in the greatest hits in Cold Steel 4 that makes that shit hit so good.
There's parts in this one where it's not just a game. It's not just the 4th game in a saga. It's the 9th game in a saga.
And they make you feel it. Like they lean on everything to make that feel as big of a moment as it needs to.
I've never 3 of its series.
Fucking absolutely incomparable. I'm sorry. It's sad that probably actually, as far as games go, is the most comparable. Because to me, it's like, oh, nothing has ever been done like this.
No.
Where the level of depth and characters in these stories, the fact that this game keeps calling back in small ways to first chapter is insane. But there's one specific moment where you feel, I felt the weight of all 9 games at once just hitting me. I was just like, I can't describe it. Like, it's something games do not do. It is something long novel series do. And I don't read novels, so I can only imagine. But it's like, Lord of the Rings trilogy or something, like that level of commitment to world building. And
I think I know the one other series that would probably actually hit similarly.
Metal Gear.
I think it's Rants.
Fuck off.
I think
you're probably right, but Jesus.
Yeah. Because they keep pulling back characters every single game. It's a complete. They are very committed to their continuity, and they did 10. They did 10 in 2018, building on 3 decades of continuity, and then it was the climactic end. All right, sorry. Continue.
I mean, that's also. I'll take that over Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah, there's no way Kingdom Hearts is comparable.
But yeah, like this game made me so overwhelmingly appreciate playing them all in order. It's just so fucking much.
Yeah.
I do think it gets a little overwhelming with how much it loves its characters.
Yeah, it absolutely does. There was a point where a screen popped up with character portraits, and I just sat there laughing for about 10 minutes because, like, okay.
The final, like, select your party screen is hilarious. It's so much more than, like, you think Trails 3rd has a lot of characters. I don't know what the actual number in that game it is, but I know what the actual number in this is, and it's fucking staggering.
I sat there fucking laughing.
So fucking funny. I think 3rd is 16. And it feels like infinity.
Oh man.
Characters.
it's more than double that.
Yeah, it's double infinity.
Oh yeah, I would have figured that.
It's
I love trails.
It's
I love trails so much. 50% through, 70% through.
We'll get there.
players.
We'll get
Also,
there.
also, there's some lore stuff at the end of this one. You start to go, okay, they definitely have this all planned out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that's so
I feel like they've had this all planned out since at least third. Like third is such an important game.
I
in the
feel like
overall.
third is where they kind of decided the rest of the shape that this story is
Yeah.
going to take and where the big beats are happening in the
Mhm.
world.
Yeah. Specifically, so much of Cold Steel was started in third.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then the Crossbell games were even more directly like, okay, we're setting up stuff that is going to be constantly referenced
Yeah.
in Cold Steel.
Yeah.
This one, oh my god. And then I like things that go big. This one goes,
big.
again, it goes so much bigger than I expected it to.
It's so it's bigger than you expected Game 9 Arc Climax Trails of Cold Steel to go. Trails of Cold Steel 4 to go.
Yes. It sounds crazy, but yes. I also finished it yesterday and then just got super bummed the rest of the day that it was over.
It's like,
So
gosh,
I'm like,
what do I do now? Literally in distress. Like, binging new content to try and fill that void. But ain't nothing filling that Trails void.
nothing. Like when I finished the Zero, I tweeted like, I've got post Trails bliss.
Yeah.
And then this time it is, oh, this is full on like
This is the depression.
true sadness, depression. Like, oh,
Yeah.
it's so weird because it's not the game's fault. Obviously, the game was great, but then I just feel so fucking overwhelmingly sad that it's over.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It's like, what do
It's
you
so
do?
weird.
Where do you go? I remember finishing this game and like that was kind of the end of my year.
Oh God.
Cold Steel 4 came out in like October. I finished it like November 23rd or something. And
Yep,
that was the rest of my year. I didn't play nothing else.
oh God.
Trails
Also-
hits hard.
Trails hits fucking hard.
Mm-hmm.
Also, one insane thing is doing a 9-game saga and then having an optional true ending at the end of this one.
Yeah, but
my
they
I think
make
that's
it
kind of
work.
fucked. I think that's kind of fucked.
It's fucked. And everybody I've seen stream it ended up getting the normal ending and having to go back and do the thing to get the
Oh.
true ending. But again, to me, it made sense and it felt fine.
They definitely give you a heads up on like, hey, you want to do all the side quests on this last chapter. But like, you'd have to redo like the whole final dungeon if
Yeah.
you'd be going back like 10 hours or something, maybe.
something like that.
It felt a little like crazy. And then I forgot when I was getting the normal ending, I just forgot about the whole true ending thing, and I was just like, oh man, huh? And then right, it gives you a pop up like, hey,
You get this game is very like, look, there's something here you might really want to do.
yeah. But also, if he just told me, which was nice.
Yeah.
Do not proceed until you have X.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, okay, one last thing. There's a bunch of final bosses. I'll talk about the actual hard final boss.
Mhm.
I had the moment that the story keeps doing actually happen to me in gameplay, and that was extremely funny. So, in the Cold Steel games, there's front row and back row characters, and you can just swap to the back row characters anytime.
Yep.
I don't usually bother actually using them, though.
Rarely.
They're not very well equipped. And there's a mechanic, though, if your team fully wipes,
You
the
can
back
pull 'em
row
all
characters
in.
will jump in.
Yeah.
And I'm never prepared for it because Cold Steel 3 and 4 especially are really easy, even though I still play on hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it may have happened once, and I was just like, no, we're just running away from this fight or whatever.
Mhm.
Fighting the final boss, it's very, very hard. I was like shocked at how hard of a time I was having. Whole team is dead except Reen. I can't keep up healing
Mm.
because the boss is like strength buffed,
Yeah.
everything buffed, speed buffed, keeps hitting me as fast as I can heal. That's all I can do. Every once in a while, Reen will get a counter in, but one of the boss's attacks is also doing HP steal.
Yeah.
So it's just a total deadlock. I am just like, oh man, I lose this one. Reen goes down. I think 100% game over. And then that back row of characters jumps in. And I'm just like, huh. Is there a chance? Is this it?
Be a chance.
I revive Reen. Final boss has like 10% HP left. I do like group combo attack. And it's just enough. And like I got the guard break at the right time as well.
Wow.
It's just enough to push them back.
That's so good.
And I won on the first try. It was just like the last minute miracle. The characters standing on the cliff jumped in to save my ass at the last possible second. It happened in the actual gameplay.
That's so good.
It was so funny. That's a good game. That's a great series.
Good ass video game. Man. It's such a good series. We literally spend 2 hours talking about it.
I will say Cold Steel 4 has some plot points that I just, for the first time, just kind of straight up don't like.
Yeah.
Like, I think the shifting of responsibility is a bit ridiculous at times.
Yeah.
And some of that started in Cold Steel 3. And I think they kind of recover a bit here. There's just some plot threads that I'm just like, oh, that's not how I thought things were going to go.
Yeah.
It's crazy thinking about how long they had to be setting this stuff up, though, because since, Cold Steel 1 at least.
Yeah.
Like the very, very fine minutia of how all this works. Like, I think Cold Steel or Trails 3rd definitely set up the broad strokes.
Yeah.
But like the very fine details had to be set up 3 games ago.
To make all of this work. Like, you can't just buy the seat of your pants, something like this.
Definitely not. Like, the way they reference the final boss arena from Cold Steel 1. Oh, God. That's such a deep cut, guys.
Yeah.
What the hell?
That's real fucking good storytelling.
That was wild. I'm excited for whatever the next game is. I'm not looking up anything.
Yeah, I know nothing about Reverie.
I mean, the last Trails epilogue game was 3rd.
Yeah. Yeah.
Expectations are pretty high.
Yeah.
I think that's the one weird thing about the ending of this one is like the story doesn't end. Where do you actually cut it, Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like some stories just have a very definitive, like, this is where the story should end. And this one doesn't because all these characters are just going to keep living their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think given the scope of this one, given the insane cast size, I think epilogue game feels deserved.
Yep.
It definitely... like, I don't even know that I've seen opinions on Reverie. Like, I'm just completely blind to it at this point. So it's like whatever they're gonna be doing with Trails into Reverie, I'm just kind of here for, I guess. So.
I did see a screenshot, and it's just Reen and some of the other Class 7 members. And I was just like, oh, yep, back at it.
Back at it
again in Krispy Kreme. That was a Vine joke, so it probably went over y'all's heads.
Oh, no, it was hilarious. I'm laughing. I was laughing. Okay. Like, it was that Discord thing where if you're too loud, it cuts out. That's what was happening. I was just laughing so hard that it cut out. That's all. I know, I got it. Oh, Krispy Kreme, man. Oh, my God.
Reading Class 7 sucked into a weird past computer and made to confront all their demons. Fucking love Trails, y'all. I had a moment where I was like getting really frustrated about the character death thing, and I was like, I don't even know. Cold Steel is so long. I don't know.
Do I need to do this?
They can extend it. I don't know. And then
it's tricky because, like, at some point after playing Azura, I was like, this is the place there I think John will stop because it ends on such a high. And then Cold Steel 1 is so fucking slow.
Yeah.
But like, after having played all 4 of them now, it's like, it's a big ask of time.
Yeah.
I don't feel it was a waste of time, which thank fucking God. The people that came away from this one, like, Cold Steel was a mistake. Like, I'm so sorry, buddy.
Really? Like, are you willing to just say that, like, you got nothing out of this 400-hour opus? Like, you got nothing out of it, like, at all? No, you just want to be main character on the internet and say wild and over-the-top things. That's all you want to do. I get it.
This one definitely leans into Trails cheesiness. Like, it's so cheesy.
Oh God, it's
so cheesy.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, I had a moment, and then I got to a moment in Azure, and I was like, no, I'm playing all of these games until I die.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like if it's not completely my thing, like I can play Cold Steel 1 and Cold Steel 2 and then just be like, all right, I'm taking another 5-year break. It's fine.
Yeah, the one thing to not do is play
around.
Cold Steel 1 and then stop.
No.
Yeah, that would be a bad idea.
It's Cold Steel 1 and Cold Steel 2. It sounds like that would be like, all right, this is a place to put it to rest for a little while. And then if I want to come back, I can. And then
they even drop on a pretty good story beat with Cold Steel 2. They drop you off at a point where it feels like it makes sense that you could come back to this after a couple of years.
Yeah, definitely.
That's kind of what I figured. Cool. Trails is good.
Yeah.
I was in a Discord with folks that are like, this can't be good. It's not. It's 10 games. They're like 100 hours long. There's no way this is worth it. And I was trying to argue from like, I played 4.5 of them. It's good writing, y'all. Good writing. You can just keep making books and it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
If the writing stays good and you just keep making more good books.
The view of Cold Steel that I had from
entries or whatever.
The view of Cold Steel that I had from the outside was that it was going to be slow and like the 3D engine was going to slow things down. That's why they were 100 hours long. And now having played them, it's just like, no, it's because they're just super dense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool.
It's like there are definitely slow times, like start of 1 and start of 4, really. But there's just so much stuff. It's never actually moving at a slower pace than the other games do. It's that they're just actually twice as long.
Yeah. It's like, oh hey, like we are in this series of cutscenes that I can walk around in, but I'm going to be in this area at this at this same party for about 2.5 hours because there's a lot we need to cover here.
There's a few points with like every major character that you need to talk to has a little like main icon.
Yeah, and you gotta talk to them all. And then after you do that, they'll all switch places and you have to talk to them all again.
Yeah.
I remember Rhett, you DMing me like, because I joked about how I love the part in Trails where a character talks from off screen, pauses, and then when a character from a previous game walks on screen and then pauses for the audience to applaud.
Yeah.
And you said that like the first 20 hours of Cold Steel 4 was like basically that.
That's literally it. And like the patented,
reintroducing everybody.
The patented Falcom pan up with the nameplate appearing. You got that too.
They appear standing on a cliff, then they pan up, they jump down.
Yeah.
And then they save you from the unkillable boss.
Who is someone you beat in the previous game, which is the roughest part.
God,
I love these fucking games. They're silly as shit.
Fucking video games. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's like, I think we can complain all day about like little things. These are 100 hours. These are extremely long games. Of course they have stuff to complain about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like complaints out of passion for the series. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you just straight up hate something, you can't talk about it this enthusiastically for 2 hours.
Like, and I wouldn't want to listen to that. I wouldn't want to listen to anybody talk about something they hate for fucking 2 hours. No fucking way in hell.
I can talk passionately. I can hate play one RPG. I can hate play 2 RPGs in a series. I can't hate play 9 RPGs in a series. Or even 4.5.
Oh God. I'm just remembering those My Anime List reviews that are like, I hated this from episode 1,
and
2 minutes in. And
it's like,
I'm like, well, why did you watch the whole thing?
Why did you watch 114 episodes of it?
Oh God, I have played 5 Kingdom Hearts games.
Whoa.
You liked them at the start to a point.
I did. Yes, I did. I really liked the first 2 games. So
I would say, like, if you start hating Trails, if you play Cold Steel 2 and you hate it, fucking dip, because it doesn't change.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Cool. I think I love talking about Trails with y'all.
I know, like again,
5 years.
Yeah,
straight.
Yeah. This feels like a good thing that maybe needed to happen, and all it took for this to happen was we were just all playing a Trails game coincidentally at the same time. So that's what you. I'm sorry if that's not what you're here for. Get used to that, because it's probably going to be a lot of this show probably going forward where we're just going to kind of talk about whatever the fuck we want with with little regard for what the audience wants to hear.
Has that not been kind of what it has been before?
Maybe, but I think we're going to be a lot more nonchalant about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the goal here.
Did Red, did you want to talk about anything else? I know we did.
I'm so brain poisoned, Trails.
Yeah,
nothing else in brain right now.
Do we just kind of like want to call that and say like, hey, this was the Trails episode?
This was the Trails episode. Fuck yeah.
All right. I
mean, if you want to talk about any anime, I'm down. But
you know what?
I'm cool calling it here.
This feels like a good capper. We'll hit it next time. We don't need to sit here and go over everything. If there's a vibe, we just go with the fucking vibe. So. Yeah. There you go. Thanks everybody for listening.
Vibe was Falcom.
Thanks for listening to the Falcom / Trails of Love Fest that has been the last 2 hours. It's been
brought to you by Moon Pie.
Brought to you by Moon Pies. Yeah, we'll get that sponsorship deal one day. I'm sure of it.
I think this is probably like one of the places on the internet where you can actually get people just like talking about these games passionately and with love, and then also like, oh, and these are parts that I didn't like, and then have it not be like a big deal.
And also I can like, we can healthily
nuance to our takes.
We can make healthy recommendations on this series and say, hey, play Trails in the Sky 1 and 2. If you're fine with that, nobody here thinks any less of you. Mm-hmm. Like, you do what you want to do.
If you don't like it, that's fine too. Because I have a couple people that bounced 2/3 into FC, and I'm like, yeah, that's fair.
I get it. It's fine. Yeah, we're not the fan base that's gonna bite your head off for disagreeing with us.
I saw a few opinions on second chapter where people were like, I didn't like it. It felt like it lost the momentum that the previous game ended with, and the bosses keep introducing themselves and then you don't actually defeat them and they run away. And they were talking about this in like a should I play Cold Steel 4 thread, and everyone is like, this game is exactly the same.
Yeah, like that. Look, this series has a rhythm, baby.
Yeah.
I will say I did play Xenosaga episode 1 and was like, I basically like that as much as like FC or Zero.
Yeah, I can see
I'm
that.
really excited for F2 and F3.
Even though Xenosaga does everything that it's doing, I think vastly different than Trails. And it has a vastly different tone, a vastly different worldview, and it presents itself much differently. I do think that I connect with Trails in a lot of the same ways that meant a lot to me with the Xenosaga series back in the day.
I think it's just like playing an RPG and it has writing. It just has writing that works. And like, that is so, and it's kind of rare. It's kind of rare when things are just working on that angle. So I play one thing that has good writing and I'm like, oh, it's like Trails. And then if I play one that's like, if I play something that has bad writing and like, oh, it's like Tales of.
Yeah. Hey, I played a Tales of game recently. I can say, hey, yeah, John's not wrong.
I played Tales of Vesperia is so funny because it's so similar to Trails in so many ways. The way it loves its cast, the slow pace, even the art style between Vesperia and Cold Steel, and then the only big difference is that the writing just isn't there. They just don't have the writing, so that felt very stark for me. Was like, oh yeah, this is why Trails is so special. Yeah. It's great.
Cool. Any final thoughts on Trails? But I guess before we wrap things up, then
there will never be final thoughts on Trails.
Look, we might have just vomited the entirety of this series all over this podcast.
It's weird being caught up because I started this journey like 3 years ago.
3 years ago, yeah. Again, though, like I know people that do this journey in a year. All of it. The whole thing.
I did Trails Sky Trilogy 1 year, then Zero, then Azure, then Cold Steel Quadrilogy.
Where do you have time to fit in catching up on rants? I don't understand.
Listen, buddy, I already mostly caught up on Yakuza.
That's true. You did that too. No, I was thinking about the people that play Trails in 1 year. It's like, where's the... You're missing time for all these other beautiful, beautiful stories.
Yeah, that's the thing, I guess. We will never be done talking about Falcom. We will never be done talking
Much
about
like Trails.
Yeah.
Much like Trails is endless and full of weird indulgences. Our podcast is also endless and full of Trails love.
What the fuck is Falcom going to do when they actually finish Trails?
Oh my god.
Who
Legend
knows,
of Heroes,
man?
Legend of Heroes 12.
There you go.
Just call it whatever the next number would be, 7.
Yeah.
Well, I think I want to say somewhere they actually call Cold Steel like Legend of Heroes 8.
8, yeah.
I'm
pretty sure, yeah. So, all right.
Reboot.
Yeah.
Do the originals as Trails games.
Do it all over again. There you go.
Finally, Prophecy of the Moonlight Witch, the one that got Kondo hired.
Finally!
Legacy of the Wizard, but it's like a 100-hour RPG now.
But still somehow 256 screens.
Trails is already just remakes of Ys over and over and over. It's just
go.
Ys, but it's just classic. Trails SC, that's Ys 2.
Yeah.
Trails, it's Ys 2, but with a million words, so that you love everybody. It's great. That's why that is why I love Trails so much, is that it's just a bunch of Falcom games, but also there's a whole good visual novel inside them.
Yeah. All right. John Thayer, tell the internet folks at home where they can find you.
Farawaytimes.itch.io. I made... So I think on the last podcast, I announced that I released Licorice... Did I... I think I might have released Licorice...
I think you did.
Okay, just barely. So I made Licorice Recoil, and then I also made my first game in Love 2D.
Mm-hmm.
And it's widely beloved.
John Thayer's Balls.
So, John Thayer's Beach Balls. The current record is 5 minutes and 6 seconds.
Oh, Wintry Mix still has the world record.
Oh, yeah.
That's a pretty crazy world record.
Nobody touched this one after last weekend, Polly. Don't worry.
Oh, no.
Not in a bad way. I was really jazzed to see people keep playing this for like 3 days.
Yeah, that was me watching people
for like a couple hours, and I'm like, this is so much.
That was me watching people play ASDF for more than like a minute, because I figured most people would just play that game for like a minute and a half and be like, okay, I get it. But no, people are actually doing like really hard score runs on this damn thing.
God, it was really fucking fun to watch, actually. So that multiple people beat my score, which is like, yes,
that's what you want.
That's what you want playing a score tag game.
Yeah.
And I'm having so much fucking fun with Love 2D.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Nice.
All right, I'm done.
Rhett.
Rhett.itch.io. I got some Poly games up there.
Yeah, you do.
Yes.
I was like, I'm going to put something up new up there. Going to remaster something every weekend, and then I didn't.
Oh, oops.
So maybe I'll put Project N3, the older ones, on there. I guess none of them are on there. Jeez.
No, they're not. I was actually shocked because I was going to go back and do a stream of Rhett games, and I was like, oh wait, those aren't there. Oh, weird. I thought you moved all that shit over already.
No, I only moved the stuff with not stolen music.
Got ya.
Because I thought itch.io might care. And then John informed me they very much do not. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, shit. Like, I think that itch.io has a lot of Newgrounds energy, so.
It's very nice.
Newgrounds got so big that they had to start caring at some point, and it sucked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so much more on itch, it feels like now, where it's just like, listen, you're getting like 10 views instead of like Newground stuff getting like 20,000 on front page.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
It's Itch was like called out in court by Apple as like a hive of scum and villainy, and they have not changed their ways in the years since. So I was
thankful for that, because that was a very tenuous time, and I was kind of worried. I was worried about how they were gonna react when push came to shove, and the major corporation was starting to call them a den of evil.
Yeah.
For daring allow a titty in a video game. So.
Ugh.
All right, cool. And you can find me
at twitch.tv/polyhead, where I do podcasts and VTubery things. Might do a stream this week, might not. I don't know. I'm not popular. I'm not doing this for money. I do this for my own amusement. If I stream, I stream. Just watch the old Twitter. That's where you'll find it.
You mean you don't stream a game because you're forced to get viewers?
No, I don't. I actually turned down a collaboration today that somebody wanted me to be a part of. That was for a game that I would have to buy that I would only ever play once. No, thank you.
Minecraft.
No, it was what? It's some dumb 4-player thing people are playing right now, this very second, that they will never play after they do their one collaboration. I don't even fucking remember. Yeah, I'm not cynical.
Dead by Daylight.
I've been asked to play that too.
Oh God.
Oh jeez.
Okay.
Anyway.
Sorry, I have an X aversion to Dead by Daylight.
I get
really?
that. I understand. I understand.
No, thank you.
I got you. But anyway, we are going to get on out of here. Remember, the next time we are together, we will be talking Game of the Year. And November 1st, you will be able to start contributing your lists. So watch for that announcement on the website. But until we speak once more, remember, we are the podcast that loves you. We are the only ones that love you. That's a show. Woo! We did it.
That was good.
Amazing. I'm so proud of us.
The iffy episode.
Yeah, she's gonna want to probably listen to this one in particular. Even if we're like dancing around everything and trying not to spoil anything, she will at least be at home and comfortable.
Yeah.
Listening to people babble about her favorite thing in the world.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to
Got me really excited to play more Trails.
I'm going to send y'all on over.
I can still do that. Y'all can't.
I can literally do that because I'm playing Trails from Zero. So
that's true. Just Red is now out.
I had the dark thought of, now I can replay them.
Yeah, we're going to raid my friend Swerve. He's playing Elden Ring. So enjoy all that, folks. And we will catch you. Game. That is a video game. I can guarantee you that people play that. And it's a video game.
It's true.
Yeah. It's very interactive. All right, folks. Catch you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.